Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's session, we will see the confirm order implementation. Okay, so here, see in the previous session, we have designed this booking page and all. So on clicking confirm order, what will happen? Okay, so on clicking confirm order inside the form, we have written a confirm order button. On clicking confirm order, so the control will go to the servlet called cart order. So the cart order is a servlet which is already created. So in that I've already added few conditions. So I'm using the same servlet and the new logic I'm writing here. Okay. So what is the new logic? I've taken else if. So this is the new logic, new condition I've written inside the cart order for the confirm order. Okay. Okay. So what is the condition I want to check? Requested get parameter of submit not equal to null. What is the submit? Submit is nothing but inside this attribute name. So I have stored a submit value. See submit, I have taken it in a attribute name and the value of that is confirm order. Means whenever I click on this confirm order, so this submit I am checking in a servlet. Yes, request or get parameter of submit not equal to null. Yes, it is not equal to null because it is having a value called confirm order. So it will come inside this if condition. Okay. Now, what are the data is required in this servlet now? So we have already taken the input values called address, city, state. Here also name attribute is there. So the value will be stored in this name attribute. Okay. So this all these three name attributes, I am fetching it in a servlet by using a request dot get parameter, and I am storing it in a string variables. Okay. Now t cost is how I have also taken the t cost variable. So t cost variable is stored in a name attribute called t cost. So I'm fetching it in a servlet. So request.get parameter of t cost. So all the four things I have taken it to a servlet. Now in the registration one class, I have to create a method. So reg is a object for the registration one class. I'm using that object reg object to create a method called order details. I have already created. So inside this or for this order details method, I am passing the string variables. So all these values, whatever I have filled here, address, city, state, and the t cost, all the four values I wanted to store it in a table. So all the four variables. So I'm passing it to a method called order details of the class registration one. And the output of that I'm storing it in a string variable called status. Now let me go to a method called order details. It is of the type string and the return value. Value I'm returning it as a string variable status. See, for status, I've taken it as a string variable. So I'm returning a string variable status. Order details, and I'm whatever the parameters are passed here. So variables. So I'm holding it in a method inside a method. Okay. Next is, so the first thing we have to write inside the method is try catch, so that if any error is there, so it will be printed. So try catch we have to add. Now we have to create a statement object. Here I've taken statement object also, prepared statement object also. So I've created both the statement and prepared statement object by using this con.create statement and prepared statement. So first I'm using a prepared statement for the insert query. So basically what we are doing, we are inserting the values to a orders table. So that's why like we have to write a insert query, insert into orders query. So now first let me see the database structure. I have already created a orders table. So what are the columns I've taken in orders table? So first is a order ID. Order ID is a primary key and it is of the type int. Next, I'm fetching, like I'm taking address, city, state, right, input field. So all the three fields are varchar I have taken. Next, the most important thing is cart ID, right? Whatever the items are stored in the cart, so that ID we need it, right? So that for that also I have taken a varchar because so multiple cart IDs, I'm storing it in a single column. That's why I've taken it as a varchar. And the cost, total cost also like have fetched, right? So for to store that also, I've created a column cost of the type int. Next, username. So the user who has logged in, that name I am storing. And UID means user ID also I have taken. Status whether it is ordered or deleted or cancelled. So to maintain the status, I've taken a status column and the date on which date the item has been ordered. So these are the columns sufficient for the orders table. Okay, so this is regarding the database structure. Now let me go to a query, insert into orders. So this thing I have already explained, insert into select, because I am selecting a few data from a one table and I'm storing it in another table. So for that, I have to use a insert into select query. So first is insert into, so this is the orders is the new table I have created, insert into orders, select. Okay, select. What is the first column in the orders table? Order ID. So order ID is a primary key. So we have to store a 0 value there. Next. Next is order address, city, state. So for those three columns, I am passing a question mark. This is called as placeholder. So that's why I've used a prepared statement here. And for this placeholder, see placeholders, how the value is going. So order address, first question mark is address column, right? See, first question mark is address column. So for that, I am storing this order address variable to a first column. It is of the type string. So object ps, prepared statement object ps dot set string. For the first question mark, first placeholder address will be stored. And for the second question mark, city will be stored. And for the third question mark, state will be stored. See, address, city, state. Got it? Next. Next is group concat of CID. CID means cart ID. Here, how many items are there? Two items are there. Two different cart ID will be there. So both the IDs, I have to store it in a single row. In a single row, in the CID column, in a single row only, I need both the cart IDs. That's why I am using a function, MySQL function called group concat. See how it will come. I'll show you. In the cart, two cart IDs are there at 1, 2. So both these cart IDs, I need it in a single row. So for that, select group concat. We have a function in a MySQL. Group concat of CID we will fetch. Yes, from which table? From cart table. Yes. See here, in the cart table, actually two rows are there, two items, 1 and 2. These 1 and 2, I want it in a single row. That's why I have used a group concat. See, 1, 2. It will be differentiated by comma, 1, 2. Okay. So that's why I used a group concat function here, cart ID. Next is, after the cart ID, what column is there? Cost. Cost also, I'm taking it here. String t cost is there. So this variable, I'm printing it here. Next is username. Username is already stored in a session. Session.get attribute of username. Status. Status is ordered. Mentioning it as a statically ordered. That is the status column. Next is date. Date is now. So now I'm using this current date and time will be inserted. Next is user ID means session ID. Session user ID. I'm storing it in a session variable called UID. Okay. So now all the columns are completed. From which table I'm selecting all these things? From cart table. I'm not selecting all the things. I'm just selecting the CID. From which table I'm selecting? From cart table. That's why I have used a insert into select. This is called as a insert into select query. Okay. So we have to write a where condition, right? Because in the cart table, like for so many users, so many data will be there. So which data I have to select from the cart table? I have to select the logged in users data. So for that, I have to check a where condition. UID is equal to session.get attribute of UID. Means for my session, whatever, whoever has logged in. So for that user, I'm selecting a cart ID. And also status is equal to pending, because in cart also like status will be keep on changing. Whatever the status in pending, so that cart ID is only I am just selecting and inserting it to a orders table. Okay. So now after this filling this placeholders, so we are executing this query, prepared statement query we are executing. And if it is executed successfully, so obviously like one row will be inserted, like that it will come, one row will be inserted, two row will be inserted. So obviously A will be greater than 0. Status variable I have taken, right? So for that I'm assigning a value called success. If it is not inserted, so I'm assigning a status value to a failure. Okay. So this is about one query. So in the first query, what we have done, so we have fetched the cart IDs from the cart table of the logged in user ID, and status is equal to pending, and have inserted a data to our orders table. Now, after inserting it to the orders table, so we need to change the status in the cart table also, right? Because in the cart table also we have maintained the status column, and also order ID I have created. I have told in the previous session like order ID will be explained in the next further sessions. So now, so after inserting it to our orders table, so we have to change two things in the cart table. One is status pending will be there, so it will be changed to order now. Next, order ID also we have to update it here. So these two columns must be updated. So I want to update it in the single method only. I'm writing a query. Okay. So this cart ID, so where I will, so this order ID where I will get, so I will get it from a orders table only, right? So for that, so I'm creating a query, separate query to fetch the order ID and the cart ID. Because order ID is there, we will get the order ID in the orders table only. So anyhow, we have stored a see order ID also and cart ID also in the orders table. So write the select query. So what data I need? I need order ID and cart ID from orders table. So of whose data we need? We need the user logged in users data. So session dot get attribute of UID, and status is equal to ordered, because in the orders table we have inserted the status as ordered, right? See in the previous query. See ordered status we have inserted. So that status is equal to ordered I am checking. And order by order ID descending. Order ID descending means the latest one. From down it will take. Okay, means you just um, assume that. So the latest record from down. Okay. So order ID descending. Limit one because so in this table for the same user ID, so many orders will be there. So I don't want so many orders. I need the latest one, whichever I have ordered now or confirmed now, the latest record I needed. So limit one I have taken, means for my ID, for the user logged in user ID, and status is equal to our order. So many rows will be there in the orders table. So which row I need? I need the latest record. That's why I'm taking order ID descending, and only the one record I need, because so all the cart ID, whichever was there in the status pending, so will be stored in a single column. So group concat CID. That's why only limit one I needed. So that's why these are the where conditions. Okay, then just take this order ID and CID and store it in a variables or whichever is created, order ID and CID. CID must be in the string because it is a string like 1, 2, 3, like that it will be stored, right? So CID must be string, and order ID is integer. I have taken it as an integer. Okay, so this query is also executed. Now, the third query, write the third query now. So for this third query, as I've told, we have to update the cart table. So for that, you have to write update query, update which table? Cart table set. So what are the values you are going to update? Status. As I've told, we have to update a status column. Previously, the status will be pending. Now we have to update to ordered. Status is equal to ordered. And order ID also we need to update. So order ID is equal to what is how we have got this order ID? See here, this is the string variable, right? So we have fetched the order ID from the orders table, and I have assigned it to a variable called order ID int variable. So by using this variable, I am updating this order ID column. Okay, this is about a update query, and we have to write a where. Whenever you are writing a update or delete query or select query, so be careful about the where conditions. Otherwise, if you don't write a where condition, it will update the status and order ID to all the rows. Okay. Now, to whom it has to be updated, the order ID and order table. So it has to be updated for the logged in user. So UID is equal to session.get attribute of UID, and status is equal to pending. Only for status is equal to pending, and UID is equal to logged in user. So this status and order ID must be updated. And one more main condition is cart ID we have to check, because here also like so many cart IDs will be there for the user ID. So cart ID in query, you can check it out. In query, in the sense like whenever we have to update the multiple rows, so we have to use a in query. Okay, where cid in. So what is the value inside this cid? So we have fetched here already 1 comma 2 will be there, because two cart IDs are already there in the status pending 1 comma 2. So where CID in 1 comma 2 means for both this 1 comma 2, 1 and 2 rows, status will be updated to order, and order ID will also be updated. So this is the meaning of this query. Okay. So in the same method, here we have written 3 queries. One is the main thing, that is insert into orders. So this is the first main thing, main query. Second is, so we need to update a status and order ID. So that's why I want to fetch a order ID from the orders table. So to fetch the order ID and CID, one query I have written. This is the second query. And the last third query is updating the cart table status and order ID. Okay. So after executing all these queries, so we are returning a status back to the servlet. I'm checking it here, status dot equals success, then navigate to a myorders.jsp, otherwise navigate back to the booking.jsp. Okay, this is all about a confirm order. Now let me see practically. See, in the cart items, my user ID is 10. See, for user ID 10 and status pending, already 2 cart items are there. Okay, 2 cart items are there. Now I am booking it. Complete address, some ABCD I will give. See, fill out this field, it will ask. Some Bangalore and Karnataka. See, all the 3 rows I have filled, and rupees 4,000 is also calculated dynamically. I am clicking on confirm order button now. Yes. Why it is navigated to a booking dot, myorders.jsp. See, in the myorders.jsp, I have created hello world. So that's why it is coming hello world here. This page we will design it in the next session. So now let me check in the database. So previously in the orders table, nothing was there. Now it is inserted. Order ID is 1. It is a primary key. So auto increment I have given. So order ID is 1. Address ABCD I have filled. Bangalore and Karnataka I have filled. Cart ID is 1 comma 2, because for my ID 1 comma 2 was the cart ID. So 1 comma 2. This is called as a group concat. See, multiple multiple IDs are stored in a single row. Now cost is 4,000. My name, like username is Davya, and status is ordered. Date is now, current date and time, and my ID is 10. So this is the first query. Insert into orders query. So this is fine now. Now second is I am fetching the order ID and CID from the orders table. From this table only I am fetching cart ID 1 comma 2 and order ID 1. So I am fetching. This is the second query. In the third query, what I am doing, I am updating the cart table. So let me go to the cart table. Now check the status for what cart ID 1 and 2. Status must be changed. See, status has changed to order. Previously pending was there. Now the status has been changed to order. And second thing is order ID is also updated. See, order ID is 1, right? Order ID is 1. So order ID 1 has been updated to both the cart IDs. So now it is success. That's why it is navigated to myorders.jsp. So this is about a confirm order. Now the order is being confirmed. So in the next session, we will see the my orders page, like whatever the orders I have done and what is the status of that, whether it is deleted or cancelled or whether it is ordered successfully. So based on the status, we will print or we will show the orders list. So we will see that in the next session. And one more information I have to give, like if you want interview related or any other technical stuffs, you can follow Karthik sir on Sukshmas. There in the questions or e-notes or MCQs, you will find all technical stuffs and interview related questions. Okay. And regarding Beyond Knowing Mentorship, if you want to become a Beyond Knowing mentor, just click on this Beyond Knowing menu and go to the details section. Click on the BK mentors. Here, few factors are there to become a Beyond Knowing mentor. If you satisfy all these factors, you will be appointed as a new BK mentor, Beyond Knowing mentor. And the opportunity you will get it is you will get a 5K scholarship per month if you satisfy all these factors. And some policies are also there for the mentors if you have become a Beyond Knowing mentor. So just read it out and just grab this opportunity. Okay, thank you guys. See you back in the next session.